Yeah, thanks, Sonia. Yeah, it's an exciting day for myself and my family. I'm sure it's an exciting day for the North Melbourne Footy Club in terms of starting a new chapter in its history, which always seems to be the case when a new coach comes in. But yeah, I've got so many wonderful memories of this place, and it's changed a little bit since I was last here, I might add. The facilities are a little bit sharper than the old Northerners room when I played my footy at this club. But I've got such fond memories of what this club has done for me over my journey. I can remember as a 9-year-old child, the first time I ever came to Melbourne was to come to watch the 1977 grand final, which ended up being a draw between North Melbourne and Collingwood. And I was there was a carload of senior conniver gentlemen, and I was a 9-year-old kid sitting in the middle of the front seat. Oscar Harrison, Sass Williams, Daggy Prigg, GM Sanders, it was his car, and Barney Alexander, and the five of us came down to watch the grand final. It was a draw, and then we came here to the pleasant Sunday morning at Arden Street, and Sass Williams won a North Melbourne footy in a raffle, and gave it to me. I was a 9-year-old kid. They were drinking beers in the grandstand here, and I was out on the oval here, kicking this footy. It was where I really fell in love with the game. It's an exciting time to be involved in the club. There's so many wonderful things that have happened, particularly off the field, and particularly in regard to getting the club back in the black and being financially sustainable from one year to the next, which has always been a trouble. Was always a trouble in my time at the club. We ran on the smell of an oily rag. We were very, very successful in that period of time through the 70s through to the 90s. But it's a real credit to the club with the things that they've done around this place, and this proposal and the precinct of this whole area, and our retention of our spiritual roots to the Arden Street area and the developing precinct is really, really exciting to be involved in. There's just so much work that's been done at this club off the field, and the great challenge now is what we can do on the field, and I'm really excited with that as well. I know that 2 wins and 19 losses is not a great year. Who knows what will transpire in tomorrow's game against Gold Coast, but I do know that this is a special club that has a really nice link to its history, and now it's about getting ourselves ready for the future. Oh, that's football. You can't be in control of that. That's something that came from left field, and it's probably my respect, as I said, for the Essendon club, that I need to listen to what they had to say. There was guys there like Tim Watson and Dave Barham, who I've got enormous regard for, and some mates of mine that have played at that club, and I'd be silly not to explore it if it was there. The circumstances around how that all unfolded was a little bit unsavoury, to be fair, but that's the environment we live in sometimes. It's a brutal and ruthless game. Somewhere in all of that, there's a really emotive part to our game as well, and a compassionate one. And I hope somehow through all this, the compassionate part of it is that these are 3 good clubs, and three proud clubs, albeit one's very much in its infancy. But they're 3 clubs that are all going through a tough period of time at the present time. But all who I'm sure, if they get on the right track, can get themselves back up the ladder again. April, but it was probably when I went back there in April. I spent a lot of time with the Golden State Warriors and Steve Kerr when I was there before Christmas, and Stanford University, and it was probably when I went back there in April and they were starting their playoffs, and I was sitting in discussions with Steve and Ron Adams and Mike Brown and Kenny Atkinson and their coaching crew, and they're planning a big playoff series against Denver, and they had the MVP in their side, and there was this enormous strategy around how they're going to defeat Denver and negate the influence of this significant player for them. And then I watched that discussion then unfolded into training sessions where they needed to go and practice and execute it, and then obviously a best-of-7 game series. And I saw them do that against Denver over a 4-week period, saw them do it against Denver and then the Memphis Grizzlies. I came back from there so inspired by what Steve was doing first and foremost and their success, but it's just like I thought to myself, this is what I do. This is in my DNA. And despite my passion for the front office part of the business that I've been helping Tassie with and the Tasmanian government and the task force, it occurred to me that I've got to get back to the coalface of footy and get on the journey of another significant challenge, which I'm so excited to start today.
I was delighted and very relieved. Yeah, thrilled.
When did you start getting an indication of the go as well?
I've watched footy for long enough to know that you're never confident till the final siren. We've been resolute through the process around what we wanted, and we've been on that all the way through, and we were clear this was a whole club activity, I suppose, which I was the spokesperson for. But the call was really welcome when it came.